guys, today I'm filming my Hit It or Quit It thoughts on hauls number 53. If you guys have never seen one of these videos from me before, I'll have my playlist linked down below, and basically I will be reviewing the products I featured in a haul from about 10 months back to let you know my current thoughts on those products. Oftentimes when you see something featured in a haul, you never hear it mentioned again unless it's in a favorites or an empties. So what I like to do in these videos is review every single item that I hauled. My inspiration for this series is it's Kirsten and her What I Thought on Stuff I Bought series. I will have her channel and her playlist linked down below, as well as my original haul video, and I will list and link the items that I mentioned. And this was a really big haul. This was basically all the things I had gotten for Christmas last year, so I am going to just jump right in, starting with some items I had gotten from Sephora. So this first thing actually was not from Sephora. I bought this from the Too Faced website for I think about 30% off, and it was free shipping, and that would be the palette I'm wearing on my eyes today. This is the Too Faced Just Peachy Mattes. So this is what it looks like. You have 12 matte shades in here, and this does have that sweet peach scent. It does smell just like their loose face powder if you've tried that. I'm going to be filming a full in-depth review video on this palette in about a week or so, so make sure you stay tuned for that to hear my full thoughts. But essentially, I do think this performs really well. It is pigmented, blends out nicely, but I really think this would be a very easy palette to pair with some single shadows, some ColourPop shadows, or just mix and match palettes. It's a good matte palette to have, but it isn't a matte palette that covers all the different matte bases that you would need. If you can get it on a good sale, it will be great. Otherwise, I don't think it is a necessity, but it works well. The next item from Sephora was the Huda Beauty Desert Dusk palette. This palette is absolutely stunning, and I've only used it once. This is the other palette I will be reviewing this month, so you will see the review on this in a couple weeks, so unfortunately cannot give you my thoughts on it yet. But I have tried some of her mini palettes, and I like them, but I don't love them. I think the shimmers are really nice. They have a nice intensity to them, really pigmented, some good sheen, but the mattes for me go on a little bit more sheer, and they really need to be built up, and for me that's a little bit frustrating. I like for eyeshadows to be pretty pigmented initially, and you can still build them for even more intensity, but it's just sheer, and I feel like I have to layer to get the intensity that I want, which isn't my favorite. So hopefully I won't have that issue with this palette. Next thing I got from Sephora was the Kat Von D Lock It Tattoo Foundation in the shade Light 43. I thought this was going to be my perfect color. It is fair. It does have a warm yellow undertone. It still looks a little bit off, and I have a mixer that does help with that, but this foundation is super duper thick. I had used this up in the past, and towards the end of what I was really working on using it up, I started to enjoy it again, which is why I repurchased it. Now I wish I had it. It is a good foundation. It is definitely the most full coverage foundation I own, but it does feel pretty heavy and thick on the skin. That doesn't bother me too much because I'm used to wearing heavy full coverage foundations, but this one does go to another level, and it does keep me matte okay, but it is not the most mattifying foundation, and I wish if it was going to feel heavy, it would also at least be matte, so that is a bit of a bummer. I did try this foundation in combination with a ColourPop No Filter foundation, which is a really thin consistency, and I really love those two together. So I definitely think that's how I'm going to try to use this foundation up in combination with the ColourPop, because neither of them are my favorite. This is okay, but I just don't think it's necessary. I would rather use one of my other favorite medium to full coverage foundations and then go in with some extra concealer on my cheeks to build up the coverage instead of have this really thick foundation. So it is not a product that I love, and I kind of wish I didn't buy it, but at the same time I will be able to use it up and make it work for me. And then I had purchased the Anastasia liquid lipstick in the shade Trouble, which was the Sephora exclusive shade for the holidays. This is really beautiful light purpley mauve pink color that I have used before and looks really pretty. This is a very cool, unique color for me, and I absolutely love it. The Anastasia liquid lipstick formula is more on the moussey side, and it does dry down completely. It can be a little dry and crumbly. It can feel dry on the lips. It can emphasize lines. So this isn't the best liquid lipstick formula out there, but I do think it is a good one. I have quite a few, but I want to try to stop buying as many liquid lipsticks in general because so many formulas are so finicky. This is a good one, not perfect, but if this shade is still available, I would definitely recommend it. I think it's very, very pretty. So there were a couple things I purchased myself from Sephora. The first thing is this Nails Inc Caffeine Hit Polish in Chai Kiss. I have not worn this one yet, but it is in my monthly makeup basket to use this month, so I will let you guys know in an Instagram post how this looks on me and what I think of the formula. And I had gotten a 100-point perk of the Murad Oil Control Mattifier, which I plan on using as a mattifying primer. I have not used this one yet. I'll definitely use it this summer. I'm excited to try it out, but I'm just trying to work through my primers in chronological order from oldest to newest, so haven't used that one yet. I always hate when I cannot review products for you guys since I haven't tried them yet. And then from Sephora, I had purchased this little mini set of the Stila Glitter and Glow liquid eyeshadows. I had missed out on the one from the holidays and they had released this one, and I'm glad I got this one because I like the colors better than the ones in the original set, and they've come out with several since then. So of course you have Kit and Karma. It's really annoying that Stila as well as several other brands just repeat the same products over the time instead of including different colors or coming up with a new shade, but this is a pretty champagne-y color. Then you do have Smoldering Satin, which is more of a taupe, and Rose Gold Retro, which is a rose gold color, and these are really nice. I love that these are little mini sizes because I am not going to use them up. I have not used these a ton, but when I have, I think that they're really good. The Stila Glitter and Glows do have a good amount of base pigment to them, so they aren't just like a sheer glitter. They are really easy to just pat on the eye. I put them over top of a shadow, but they do work on their own. But I would definitely recommend what everyone else does. Do the rest of your eye makeup first, and then put this on, then go in with your liner and mascara, because if you put this on and then do a bunch of other blending with your shadow, you're gonna get glitter fallout all over the place. But these are very easy to work with for a glitter, so I am happy that I have them, and especially that I got the minis. And with that purchase, I had gotten a little freebie with a coupon code of the CoverFX Blurring Primer. I do really enjoy this. The Dr. Brandt Pores No More is still my holy grail pore filling primer, but this is definitely second best. This product does fill and blur my pores really nicely, and I think that this would work well for all skin types. So this is definitely something that I would recommend. I do think it's a good product. So then I have a bunch of things that I had purchased from Ulta. The first is the Bare Minerals Bare Pro Foundation in number 3 Champagne. I did film an entire first impression and follow-up on this, which I will have linked up in the cards. But to give you my thoughts, it does have a good shade range. This is a really, really good match for me, very fair and yellow. This is more of a medium coverage foundation. It does have a really thin consistency. It is buildable, but just up to a point. For me, it does not really cover my redness, and I can only get medium coverage out of it. It is not super mattifying or super glowy, so I think this would work well for a lot of skin types. I wish it was a little bit more matte and it had a little bit more coverage. This is an okay foundation. I believe I got it for about $19, which is a great price, and I don't regret it, but this is not something that I plan on repurchasing because I do have other foundations I prefer over this one, but it isn't bad. Then I had gotten the CoverGirl Clump Crusher Mascara. I used to love this, and then I repurchased it, and it just doesn't do anything for me. You could definitely make me believe that there was absolutely no product in that tube. Like, yes, it did help separate my lashes after I used another mascara, but it did not deposit any product on my lashes itself, so it's not something that I would repurchase. Then I had gotten a NYX Duo Chromatic highlighter. I believe NYX and CoverGirl were 40% off as part of like Black Friday, Cyber Monday, something like that. And this highlighter is in the shade Snow Rose, so it is a light champagne-y shade with a pink flash, which is very pretty. And this is something I like wearing in the springtime. I'm not crazy into duochrome. This is a very subtle wearable duochrome, which is nice. The formula is very pigmented and smooth. It isn't glittery or chunky, so I do think it is a good formula. This is not a must-have or go-to highlight for me, so I would be okay without this one in my collection, but it is something that if you're looking for a duochromatic highlight, I would check out the NYX line. Then I had purchased the NYX Stay Matte But Not Flat Powder Foundations in Ivory and Nude. I have used those up. That used to be my holy grail face powder because it does give some great coverage. It really does help keep me matte for a good amount of time, but I do blow through those very quickly, and they are about $10. I think the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless powder is about half the price, works just as well, and it lasts for about the same amount of time. So even though I love both of those formulas and I recommend them both, I would pick the Maybelline over the NYX just because it's cheaper. And then I got the NYX Micro Brow Pencil in the shade Blonde and Taupe. Blonde was definitely too warm tone for me. I was able to use it up, but then I did end up sticking with my perfect shade Taupe, which is not too cool tone. It's more of a neutral tone, but it does work really well for me. That's my favorite brow pencil. It draws onto brow hair and to skin really easily. I will never buy the Anastasia Brow Wiz again because I think the NYX works just as well. Half the price of the Anastasia, but then when you can get it, the NYX on sale, it's even better. I have a huge backstock right now. I also purchased the e.l.f. Lip Exfoliator in Mint Maniac. I have used that one up. That is a really good lip scrub. It does exfoliate really nicely, but it's not too harsh, and I love that it comes in a little lipstick bullet because it's very easy to apply, so definitely would recommend that. And then I had gotten a goodie bag with a bunch of free products in it, some deluxe size foil packets. I'm not going to review that because this video is so long, but the makeup that was in there, the Dermablend Translucent Loose Setting Powder, I have since purchased that in the full size from the 21 Days of Beauty. I really love that for a brightening under eye setting powder. Then I have the Tarte Lights Camera Lashes mascara. That is a pretty dry formula, so it dries out pretty quickly, which I don't love, but this is a nice mascara to give some really good length. A good one, but it's not something that I think does enough for me that I would purchase it. And then the Stila Stay All Day liquid lipstick in the shade Rubino, which was a deep red. And I do think the Stila liquid lip formula is nice. It is moussey. It does dry down completely, and that was a pretty color, but it's not a must-have for me, the formula or shade. Then I had two things from ColourPop. The first was the You Had Me at Hello palette. I did do an entire palette of the month review video on this one, which I will have linked up in the cards. This is one of the only palettes they made that did have a mirror in it, which I could really do without. I would rather save $2 than have a mirror, but I don't mind having it in here. So overall, I don't love all of these colors together. I think they're kind of weird. These two shades here are a little bit crumbly and flaky, which I don't like. My favorite shades in the palette would definitely be this shade, and that one. That was an eye look I created and enjoyed, but overall this is not a palette I need in my collection. It does look pretty, but when I was actually using it, I was just not that impressed. So I love that one particular eye look, and I'm going to keep the palette for now for that eye look, but I can see myself decluttering this in the future just because I don't love the palette as a whole. Color selection wise, the rest of them perform really well, except just those two lighter shades are a little chunky, but the rest of them, the metallics are nice and shimmery, and the mattes are matte, pigmented, and easy to blend out. Just the color selection is a little odd for me. Then I had gotten the Supernova Liquid Shadow in Dragon. So they have discontinued some of the shades. I'm not sure if this is one of them. This is just a really pretty copper color with a little bit of bronze in it. This is a really nice lid topper. This does have a lot of base pigment to it. This doesn't have as much glitter as a Stila Glitter and Glow. This product is fine. I do think the Stila performs a little better. I like the Pixie a little better, but I also haven't given this a proper test, so cannot quite review it for you, but it's fine. It's something that might be nice to try out if you're making a ColourPop order and if you can get it on sale, but it's not a must-have for me. Then I had gotten a bunch of polishes from KL Polish. I think these were all 30% off for their 1-year anniversary sale. So I have 6 polishes here. 2 of them I've tested, 4 I have not yet. So the ones I have tested would be Princess Penny, a beautiful, insanely metallic copper color. And then we have Taurus, which is a really beautiful warm brown. Love them both. Opaque in 2 coats. I love the KO Polish formula because it's a bit on the thick side, which I enjoy, and it does have that wide brush, which I like because my nail beds are a little bit larger. So absolutely love these polishes. They are must-haves for me for fall. And then these other 4 I plan on wearing this winter. So we have Alyssa, and all of these are inspired by the lippies Kathleen created with ColourPop. This one is Aquarius, which has a little more tan in it. These are very similar. Then we have November, which is a little bit more of like a rosy, dusty, corally pink. And then you have Lumiere, which is a bit more purple. So all of these I will be trying out this winter, but I have absolutely loved every single shade I've tried from KO Polish, and all of the formulas have been amazing, so I believe that those will be as well. Definitely recommend you guys check out her polishes if you haven't already. She does make one of my favorite formulas, and I really love all of the shades I've tried. Then I do have an impulse buy. I purchased this because it was on super sale from Barney's Warehouse. This is Deborah Lippmann Splish Splash. I haven't taken it out of the box. I haven't worn it yet. It is a basic light blue. I have so many polishes just like this. I'm very frustrated in myself that I bought it. I'm glad I got it for a great price, but I don't need it at all. I will try to test it out this springtime. I forgot to bring out a polish. It is from 90 Lacquer, the shade Igneo Pebblet, a really stunning copper base with some silver and gold glitters in it. I love 90 polishes as well. They are created by Just Face 90, who is an amazing nail polish YouTuber. She has a great Instagram account as well. She makes all of her own polishes. They're amazing quality. Definitely recommend you guys buy any of them that you're interested in, and this is also a fall staple for me. Then I had gotten a few things from the drugstore. The first is a foundation I'm wearing right now. This is the Maybelline Superstay Full Coverage. I have the shade 110 Porcelain, and I have been wearing this foundation every day for the past 2-3 weeks or so, and I'm so glad I started using it more again because I'm really enjoying it. I do have first impression and follow up on this one as well, which I'll have linked in the cards. This is a very nice foundation. It actually does give a pretty full coverage, but for me it doesn't feel heavy, thick, and cakey like the Kat Von D, and it doesn't give quite as much coverage, but pretty similar. But what I tend to do is apply one layer all over, and then I will go in with a little more of this product or concealer on my cheeks to build up the coverage there. This is not the most mattifying foundation ever, but it does help keep me matte for a decent amount of time. This also does not oxidize on me. This is one of the best drugstore foundations that I've ever tried, and I have a lot of foundations to work through first, but I do think this is something that I would repurchase. And then I bought the Maybelline Lasting Drama Eyeliner and Striking Copper, which just is a beautiful metallic copper eyeliner. It does have a really nice smooth formula. It does last in the waterline okay, but I mostly put this on my lower lash line. I'm really happy I have this in my collection. I think it really flatters my green eyes. I have seen this at TJ Maxx, so I'm not sure if these are being discontinued or not, but I think they might be. So if you want one, go pick it up from there. I also had purchased the Wet n Wild Mega Last Hard as Ice top coat. I've completely used mine up. The little bit that's left in here, I'm keeping on my vanity, and I'm using this to go over Sharpie marks for my Project Pan items. This is a good top coat. Right now I'm using Seche Vite, and I do think I like that one better. It does dry really quick, and it keeps my polishes lasting longer. So I don't think I will repurchase this. I was trying to, but the area that I moved to, I cannot find this anywhere. It's just certain drugstores, certain Walmarts that sell this, so that's why I ended up with Seche Vite. And even though it is a lot more expensive than the Wet n Wild, I do think it's better, but I do still think that this is a good one, and I would recommend it if you're looking for a nice inexpensive top coat. And then I had gotten a gift from my friend Amanda Alexander. I'll have her channel linked down below. She sent me the Becca Backlight Priming Filter, which is one of the best glowy primers I've ever tried because it does dry down, and I don't feel like it makes me any extra oily. This is something that I don't think I would buy in the full size because I'm just not a glowy primer person with my oily skin, but I was really jumping at the chance to be able to have another of these to test out because I do like it overall. Then she had sent me the Bad Habit Supernova palette, which is supposed to be a dupe of Natasha Denona Lilo palette. I have not tested this one yet, unfortunately, but this is going to be one of the palettes I'm reviewing for December, so you will get my thoughts then. But I'm excited to try my very first Bad Habit or Shop Hush palette, so I'm very thankful that Amanda sent me those products. And then I had my Sephora Play for January 2018. So I had a foil sample of the Briogeo Don't Despair Repair Hair Mask. People love this, but for me, I feel like it dries my hair out a bit. It definitely does not condition it well, so I would never repurchase that. Then I have the Glam Glow Super Cleanse Clearing Cream 2 Foam Cleanser. I have not tried that one yet. I'm working through my cleansers, oldest to newest, and it takes me forever to work through cleanser. The Clinique Pep Start Eye Cream. I have used that one. It's kind of like a cream gel hybrid. It didn't really do anything for me, so it's not something I would repurchase. Then I have the Ole Henriksen Hygie Hydra Clay Detox Mask. I have not used that one yet either because I'm also trying to work through mask, oldest to newest, and I'm the worst at using masks. Then I had a little mini of the Lancome Sills Booster XL, which is their mascara primer. Have not used that yet either. And then I had this Smashbox Photo Finish Primerizer, which is a primer and moisturizer in one. I actually really liked that for a winter primer because it did give some nice hydration. It made my skin feel very smooth and plump. It's something I would be happy to get another sample of, but again, I don't think it's compatible enough with my skin type that I would consider buying it in the full size, but it was surprising that I did enjoy it. And then I had gotten a couple PR products from Luxury Scent Box. I had gotten Deep Euphoria by Calvin Klein and Versace Bright Crystal Absolute. I did pass on both of those perfumes. I was hoping to get Original Euphoria, and Deep Euphoria just was not my fave scent. Then I had gotten some things from Derma E, the hydrating facial wipes, which I did not really enjoy for removing makeup. They were not very wet, and something about the consistency of the wipe made it really feel like I had to scrub my face. So I much prefer the Neutrogena makeup remover wipes. They'd sent me a couple mask foil samples, which I have not tried yet. And then Juno & Co sent me some things, the Microfiber Fusion Sponge. So they have a couple microfiber velvety sponges. I tried the original one and I did not like it at all. Now they've come out with more sponges. I don't know if they've changed their first sponge because people really love it. For me, it did soak up my foundation. It was impossible to wash. So for me, absolutely not. Much prefer the Real Technique sponge or the Beauty Blender over that one, so I would never repurchase that. And then they did send me a bunch of their brushes, which were only $2 each. They were pretty nice quality. They were very soft. The brush handles are very, very long, which I thought looked cool, remind me of Cruella de Vil, but in practicality they were just a little too long for me. Because I have a ton of brushes and figured I wouldn't reach for them, I did pass them on to some friends and family. And that's everything. So this was a very long video. I love filming these videos, but it also gives me a little bit of a reality check of like whether you really need to use your products. And it's very disappointing to me how many things in here that I've only used once or I haven't used at all. So hopefully next month will be better. I would love to know your thoughts on any of the products that I have mentioned here today. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye guys.